Hello students, as we are discussing previously asked questions from the chapter Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter, and there we have discussed theoretical and derivative problem. Yesterday we have discussed numerical problem. So today mostly the graphical problem that is asked. I have just taken it. So let's discuss it one by one. So first question here, that is we have one figure. First of all, let's draw it. So this is I1, this is I2, this is I3 we have, and on this we have taken photoelectric current, and on this we have taken collector plate potential. So question is that the figure shows a plot of three curves A, B and C showing the variation of photocurrents Vs, that is photocurrent IP, and versus the collector plate potential Vc for three different intensities I1, I2 and I3. So and having different frequencies nu1, nu2 and nu3 respectively. So they are incident on any metallic surface, any photosensitive surface. So we have to find out the two curves for which the incidence radiation have same frequency but different intensities. So as in the case of photoelectric emission, you know already and we have discussed it already, the plate potential, that is depending on the kinetic energy of the ejected photoelectron, means greater will be the kinetic energy of ejected photoelectrons, greater will be the, or more negative will be the stopping potential. But whenever frequency of the radiation will be constant and intensity will change, then with change in intensity there will not be any kind of change in the stopping potential. Reason is that intensity is related to number of photons, that will increase the number of photoelectrons emitted, but still that will not provide the greater energy to the electrons so that they can bear the repulsive energy of the plate potential. So obviously if we will change the frequency, then that time only stopping potential will be changed. So this variation we have discussed already in starting. Well, we were discussing experimental effect or simple experiment based on the photoelectric effect. So here in this case, as we are seeing at this plate potential, this is the stopping potential, this is also stopping potential. As you know that where the current becomes zero, that is known as stopping potential. So stopping potential is same for two intensities I2 and I3, means we have three curves A, B and C. So for curve B and C, these two intensities are different, but if the stopping potential is same, then I just told you that stopping potential only varies due to frequency, change in frequency. Means if it is constant for two curves, means that two curves will have the same frequency. Clear? So our question was that we have to identify two curves which has same frequency but different intensity. So if we will see these two curves B and C, so they have different intensity where I2 is greater than I1, but they both have the same frequency. That's why we are getting the same stopping potential here. Simple, the answer will be B and C in this case. So number of graphical problems or such types of graphical problems is asked. So next question we have, the given graph shows the variation of photoelectric current versus applied potential for two different photosensitive material for two different intensities of the incident radiation. So first of all, let's draw the graph here that is given. This is a graph that is given in our question. In this graph, this is 1, this is 2, this is third graph, and this one is fourth graph. This is, in this we are taking photoelectric current, and if on this is plate potential. So simple, a graph between again plate potential and photoelectric current it is given for different one thing is there, for two different intensities of the incident radiation. So question is that we have to identify the pair of curves that corresponds to different materials but same intensity of incident radiations. So as you know that when the material of the photosensitive metals that will be different, then in that case stopping potential will be different. But whenever intensity is same, then with the same intensity above which we will get the same current here, or simple you can say that at the same intensity at some point, obviously this is the saturation current that we are getting. And you know that if intensity is directly proportional to the number of photons contained in any light beam, and also that number of photons, if that will be greater, then obviously according to that number of electrons emitted from the metal surface, that will be greater also. So it means that at a particular frequency, suppose we have 10 electrons that is ejected from any metal, then that 10 electron, if two intensities are same, then obviously for those two there will be 10 electrons. Then maximum current that will be equal for both of the material. Then in that case, if you will see this curve, then in this curve this is saturation current. So this saturation current is equal for these two, 1 and 3. So we are seeing that 1 and 3 both have different stopping potential, means both have different frequencies. If stopping potential is different, then frequencies will be different. And if both have same different frequencies, means materials are different. And also we are seeing that simple here, these two are corresponding to same saturation current, means they have same the number of maximum current, or you can say that they have same number of electrons that is ejected from the material. So it means that simple intensities of radiation is same. So here in this question we have to identify that pair which have same intensity but different frequency. Clear? So in this way you can see, first of all, the pair 1, 3 that have same intensity but different frequency. Second, in this way you can see that this is also a saturation current for this curve 2 and 4. So obviously curve 2 and 4 corresponding to same saturation current, means there is also the number of electrons ejected from the metal surface that is same for these two curves, means they have the same intensity again. So here they have same intensity, but as usual we are seeing that they have different frequencies, as they have different stopping potentials. So it means that these two pairs will also fulfill our purpose of question, that is the pairs which have same intensity but different frequencies. Third one question we have, X-rays fall on a photosensitive surface to cause photoelectric emission. So assuming that the work function of the surface can be neglected, then find the relation between the de Broglie wavelength lambda of the emitted electrons of energy E0 of the incident photons, and draw the nature of graph for lambda versus function of EV. So first let's write the relation for the wavelength of the light, that is or de Broglie wavelength. Then to just find out the de Broglie wavelength in this case, as here X-ray falls on the photosensitive surface, it means that simple here as we are talking about the electromagnetic wave, then we can use Einstein's equation. So according to Einstein's equation, the energy incident that is used in two ways. First, to overcome the potential barrier of the metal, that is its work function plus the rest of the energy it is used as its increase in kinetic energy. So in the question it is given that this work function of the metal we can neglect here. It means that phi 0 is the 0. So this E0 will be equal to only kinetic energy. So it is equal to kinetic or maximum kinetic energy, you know that this is, and we can write it in terms of momentum P square by 2m. So from here we can calculate what is the value of momentum. So this is 2m E0, and also as this is the momentum, then using de Broglie hypothesis, that is lambda is equal to h upon p, we can write it lambda upon 2m E0. So as h is constant 2 and m is constant, then we can see that lambda is inversely proportional to root E0, or in another word we can write it lambda square is inversely proportional to 1 upon E0. Means this is a rectangular parabola, means or simple way you can see that this is just like the parabola but in the decreasing order. So whenever we will plot the graph for this, and on this suppose we are taking this energy E0, and on this is the wavelength of radiation, then this graph will be just like this. Means with increase in energy of radiation there will be decrease in the wavelength of light. Clear? So these are the graphical problem basically that is asked. Next question that we have. A proton and an alpha particle have the same de Broglie wavelength. Determine the ratio of first the accelerating potentials, second their speeds. So as you know that here first particle that is a proton, second one that is alpha particle. So let's write first of all de Broglie wavelengths for both of the waves. So if for de Broglie wavelength for proton, that is denoted by lambda p. So this is equal to h upon, if we have to find out first case, I am just going to take, we have to find out the accelerating potential, then we have to write the de Broglie wavelength in terms of accelerating potential. So directly I am going to use that formula, lambda is equal to h upon root 2m e into v, or q into v you can also write. So 2mp qp into, suppose this is Vp is accelerating potential, and also in case of alpha particle you can write it just like h upon 2m alpha q alpha and v alpha. So we have to just calculate the ratio of accelerating potential, means Vp and v alpha. So first of all, to calculate it, let's write down the relationship between proton and alpha particle. So as we know that the mass of the alpha particle, that is 4 times the mass of proton. So mass of alpha particle, this is 4 times mass of proton, and also you know that the charge on alpha particle, this is 2 times the charge on proton, and it is given in question that lambda p is equal to lambda alpha. So from this expression we can write this 2mqp, this is equal to 2m alpha q alpha v alpha. You can equate both the equations, and after that we will get this one, and again 2 will be cancelled out, and we can just find out what is the value of Vp upon v alpha. So this will be equal to all of the terms, let's this m alpha by mp q alpha upon qp, and here we can find out what is the value of m alpha upon mp, that is what is Q alpha by QP? That is equal to 2. So this is the ratio is equal to 8:1 finally. So this is our answer. The accelerating potential has the ratio that is 8:1 here. So in the same question, the second thing that is asked here, we have to calculate the ratio of their speeds also. So the ratio of for the ratio of their speed, we can again take the formula for the de Broglie wavelength, that is lambda is equal to h upon p or h upon mv. So for mv we can write mp vp. Suppose vp is the velocity of proton and lambda alpha, this is equal to h upon m alpha v alpha. Now as in question it is given lambda p is equal to lambda alpha. So from here we can get mp vp, this is equal to m alpha v alpha, or we can write down vp to the v alpha, this is equal to m alpha upon mp, and the value of m alpha upon mp still we have just calculated, that is this ratio is equal to 4. So this is 4:1, that the ratio we have got here. So simple. In the case of graphical problem, first of all you have to keep all formulas in your mind, so after that you will be able to solve it. So next question that I'm going to take here, using the graph shown in the figure for stopping potential versus the incident frequency of photons, calculate Planck's constant. So this is also a question that is asked. Number of times I have told you to ask or to read the graphical problems or to understand all the graphs from the using Einstein's equation and also using de Broglie wavelength. In both of the equations, number of graphs can be plotted there. So you have to understand all these graphs. Number of questions can be asked there in comparison form, in calculative form. Number as here I have taken all the question. In first two question I have taken the comparison cases. Later I am going to take here, this is numerical way based on the graph here. So simple, this graph we have between frequency nu, and this is in the order of 10 power 14 Hz, and also the acting potential V0, this is in volt we have, okay? And also from here the photoelectronic emission is started, so get. So this is 2, this is 4 we have, this is 6, this is 8, this is 10, and so on. And from 8 this is, and here this value is 1.23, and from here we can write it, this is 0.4, 0.8, here somewhere it will be 1.2, 1.6 and 2. Yeah. So this is the value based problem on the graph, this is given, and here this value is given 5 into 10 to the power 14 Hz. It is given in the question. Then we have to calculate the Planck's constant. So as you know that at which frequency the photoelectric emission starts to obtain, that is known as threshold frequency. So already threshold frequency is given here, and if we will find out the slope of this graph, then that will provide us for that I just want to write equation here. So as we have this equation, PV0 is equal to h nu minus pi. Clear? Yeah, this one is. So in this way, if you will just write down V0, this is equal to h upon e into nu minus pi by e. So here, as you can see that this is equation of just like the straight line equation, means y is equal to sum mx plus c, where m is the slope of the equation and this c is intercept, and here negative sign shows us that this intercept we will get in the negative y axis. So that's why this slope represent these two values on this negative slope, but still if you will just calculate the slope of this curve, this positive straight line that we are getting, then that slope represent the value of h upon e, and with the help of this calculating the slope of this graph, we can find out the value of Planck's constant here. So let's just find out here. So as it is given, if you will just calculate here this value of delta V0, then this is 1.23 minus 0, then it will be equal to simple V0, if you can want to write, then you can write it. So this is equal to 1.23, clear? And also as here we are plotting the graph between V0 and nu. So simple, if we will take the slope of this curve V0 and nu, then it will provide us the value of h upon e. So for taking the slope, we are just taking this value, and here as in this case slope, if you will take, this is between difference between two points on the y-axis, this is difference between 2 points on the x-axis. So on x-axis, this delta nu, this will be equal to this value, that is 8 into 10 to the power 14 minus of this value, this we have 5 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. So this will be finally 3 into 10 to the power 14 hertz that we have. Now we have just find out the y intercept and x intercept. Now let's take the slope here. So value of slope, that will be h upon e. This is equal to here h is or simple h upon e means that slope we will calculate then y by x. So this is 1.23 divided by 3 into 10 to the power 14, and if you will solve it, 1.23 into 3 into 10 to the power 14 into this e, and if value of e, we will just put it here. So this will be equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 90, and you can solve it, and after solution we will find out this will be equal to 6.6 into 10 to the power 34 minus 34 joule second. Simple, by using this type of graphical problem, we can solve this problem, and we can find out slope here. Again, we can also find out the value of work function with the help of this curve. So if this curve is given in this form, suppose that here if this is given and the value of this intercept is given, then with the help of this intercept we can calculate the value of phi by e. So phi by e will be equal to this intercept. Suppose that in this question, if I am just taking it as the additional question here. So this question is, suppose its value is again 1.2 we have the negative axis. So this will be equal to 1.2. So phi will be equal to 1.2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 90, and if you will solve it, then we can find out what will be, let's see that 32 1.92 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. This value we will get for the work function of the metal. So simple, with the help of this type of graph between voltage and frequency, we can easily find out what will be the value of Planck constant. Means you know already Planck constant, but we can experimentally calculate it by taking the variation between stopping potential and different frequencies. So whenever we will change different frequency, then with the help of that, you know that with change in frequency, kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron will change, and with change in kinetic energy of ejected photoelectron, there will be change in stopping potential. So obviously with that change in stopping potential, there will be change in this values, and we can find out easily what will be the work function and what will be the Planck constant here. So next question we have, that is we have to plot the graph between the de Broglie wavelength and the accelerating potential for the different charges. Like we have to plot this graph for proton and alpha particle. So first of all, how to plot the graph between lambda and accelerating potential, or simple we have to plot the graph for this. Suppose that lambda versus 1 upon root b. So this graph we have discussed yesterday, but still in another form we have discussed whenever mass is changed. But here in this case, mass and also charges both are same, as we are taking two different particle here. So first, as we know that lambda is equal to h upon root 2m q into b. So from here, if suppose these three things are constant, obviously, then in that case lambda will be proportional to this value only. So if lambda is proportional to this value, then simple, if you have to plot the graph, then this will be equal to the we can find out easily. Suppose in place of this, I am just writing x here. So lambda is proportional to x, we can write lambda is equal to mx. So this is the equation of the straight line. It means that we will get some straight line here for this 1 by root b, and here for this lambda. Clear? So this is the particular graph, but here we have to plot this graph for proton and alpha particle. So as you know that the mass of alpha particle is 4 times mass of proton, and charge of alpha particle, that this is 2 times charge of proton. So let's just find out what will be the value of lambda p to lambda alpha. So lambda p to lambda alpha, this will be equal to 2m alpha q alpha. Suppose accelerating potential is same for both of them. So as here this is 2mp qp v. So from here we can see this will be equal to here, if you will write 4, here we will write 2, so this will be 8. So this is equal to 2 root 2 upon a simple, means from here we can see that lambda p, it is greater than lambda alpha. Clear? So it means that we can plot the graph just like that for different accelerating potential also. Suppose that here accelerating potential is also different. So for different accelerating potential, the wavelength that will change also if we are taking different particles, means all the quantities are just varying here, like accelerating potential is also varying, mass is varying, charges are varying. Then in that case its graph, it is hard to just draw, but still you can draw it easily, as here we can just compare whose wavelength is larger. So lambda p will be larger than the lambda alpha. In simple way, you have to understand that greater will be the mass, less will be the wavelength associated with that. So here, as we are seeing also, charges is also varying, mass is also the temperature, it is much greater than in comparison to wavelength of proton. So if wavelength of proton, it is less than wavelength of alpha particle, then this will be equal to and this is alpha particle and this is proton here. So this is graph for alpha particle, this is graph for proton, where m alpha is greater than mp, q alpha is greater than qp. Clear? And also we have calculated Vp upon V alpha just previously in question, and there we have seen that Vp upon V alpha, Vp is greater than the V alpha here. So as Vp is greater than V alpha. So this is the variation that we have, and with that variation obviously Vp is greater than V alpha, you can see it here. So this is the graph, and this is the variation for the different kind of particle. So this is a typical point in which I just wanted to tell you all the variations once by using such types of equations in the case of de Broglie. So number of graphical problem that is asked in your examination, we have discussed prints one by one everything. So I think all the things that we have discussed, that is all clear, then just to end the chapter here also, as today it is your RT examination. So that's why after this we will just discuss the next RT syllabus, that is atoms and nuclei. So let's do in next class. So let's end it here. Thank you.